Howdy, hot shots. Beaming to you from Not a Financial Advisor land with some not financial advice. It's Kevin with Earth 2 Mastering. It's time to flip a coin. So grab your vacuum because this video is not going to suck. I want to go over Ecomi. I have a little bit of an example of how much Ecomi can be burned based on VeVe drops. Okay, so I haven't seen an official announcement. Maybe it's out there. Somebody point me to it down in the comments if down below. If you're in on VeVe and you're in on OMI, say OMI is my homie for the algo, please. There's like 80% of you that aren't subscribed, so subscribe if you want to keep seeing news on virtual investments such as Earth2, Ecomi, VeVe collectibles, and other small introductory cryptocurrencies and NFTs. We're into the nifties here. Okay, so the thing is that I haven't seen an official announcement on what the drop may be this Thursday. Maybe there won't be a drop. It looks like they had such a huge drop last time that they were still calculating and tabulating how much OMI to burn. So for Ecomi hasn't been burned for a few days because they're still trying to figure out how much to burn. But we went over in a video yesterday morning, I believe. I don't know. There's been a lot of news coming out about how much Ecomi is burnt based on the token metrics of Ecomi and how it works in conjunction with the VeVe app. Okay, so I wanted to go over an example. We've been waiting on the ghost trap from Ghostbusters to drop. It's an ultra rare trap. So we're going to go over exactly how much Ecomi will be burnt based on the drop of that ghost trap, which I hope is what they drop on Thursday, that and Slimer. So we'll see here. Okay, so let's go over it right now. The market's down a little bit overall for crypto. The Ecomi market is down just about 1% as relative to price to Bitcoin, but it's up 1.42% in relative to the US dollar right now in the last 24 hours. Now, I was buying it, yesterday, and I purchased it for 0.0078 on Bitforex. I know it's gone down just a smidge, but I have serious FOMO, so I can't be just waiting around hoping for a dip. You could see that it's got a little bit of resistance right here. It shot up, and it's got a little bit of resistance just under the 0.008 mark. I believe the Uniswap will knock that out. I think once the Uniswap listing goes live, it's going to knock that out because that's going to be a lot of exposure, a lot of FOMO, a lot more people that can buy it that aren't willing to go over to Bitforex or BitMax. Like I said, the US, we can't use BitMax, so we have to use Bitforex. I do have a video on how to purchase it on Bitforex if you want to go through there. And I have a link down below that saves you 30% of your fees on Bitforex. That's where I have been buying it. Okay, so we could see there's a little bit of a sell wall there just under the 0.008 mark. I don't anticipate that lasting long. They've got the fully diluted market cap here at $5,645,000. That is not really relevant because that's based on the max supply of 750 billion, of which we've already said approximately 440 billion are basically gone forever. And then another 50% of that is locked up for now for future business development and founders tokens. So the founders are trying to say that we should calculate market cap based on roughly 168 billion, of which is constantly being burnt, including one of the examples that we're going to go over here right now. Okay, so let me pull it up here. We've got the Ghostbusters trap there. You see it's dropping soon. I'm waiting for it. I'm going to buy it. I missed out on the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man because I kept him hawing around because he wasn't rare and he wasn't really selling that fast. And I was watching how many of them were left. And then all of a sudden overnight, a bunch of them were gone. So I missed out on him. I do have the little Ghostbusters logo. I don't necessarily know that Ghostbusters is going to be quite as popular as some of their other contracts just because Ghostbusters is kind of old school. But hey, I like it. And so I got the logo and I plan on getting Slimer, even though he's common. And I'm going to get probably as many ghost traps as I can for my plan of flipping ultra rare collectibles into more Ecomi. So I'll be sitting on gems in my account, buying as many rare and ultra rare collectibles as I can, reselling them in the secondary market, parlaying those into more rare and ultra rare collectibles, and trying to trade my way into more Ecomi. Let's go down here. We see we have 1,750 of that Ghostbusters ghost trap. I believe that will sell out immediately when it drops. and it's at 34.99 gems. When I hear of a drop, or if somebody points me down below to an announcement for when the next drop and what is going to drop is, I will definitely come back here and make a video for you guys. That way we can all get our hands on these VeVe Nifties. Let's go over to my notes because I had it written down here. So there's 1,750 ghost traps at a price of 34.99 gems, or $34.99 that have been converted to gems, which is a total of 61,232 gems. Well, right now the current price of Ecomi is roughly 0.0075. So you take 61,232 gems divided by 0.005, comes up with roughly 8 million gems that will be burned out of the reserves and vault once those are all sold out. Over 8 million Ecomi burned off one ultra rare drop, and a lot of times they drop multiple collectibles at the same time. So that is multiplied, and then there's also the secondary market where those collectibles immediately start reselling. So if you see people selling outside of the app, like getting PayPal money or something like that, and then somehow transferring the collectible to somebody else, they are making Ecomi undervalued, because if you don't do it through the app with the gems, then it's going to reduce the amount of Ecomi that is burnt for those sales. So it's very important that we have all of our transactions in the app, because that's going to increase the value of Ecomi for the rest of us. And it also raises the market for the in-app VeVe gems. It shows how much they are selling for. Okay, so then they take 10%, because these are new sales. They're not the secondary sales. The secondary sales are totally separate. But off of this one ultra rare drop in the new store sales, they take 10% of the Ecomi out of the secondary market. So they take $8,164,000 OMI were burnt. They take 10% of that and they purchase it back from the secondary market. So they take 816,433. Somebody tell me down below if I did my math wrong, because I'm just a crazy hillbilly, so I don't know how to do them maths. But over 800,000 Ecomi removed from circulation off of one ultra rare drop. That does not include secondary collectible sales in the marketplace. It does not include peripheral drops, and it doesn't include sales in the store that have happened just off of existing collectibles that still aren't sold out. So this is just an example of how we are burning millions of Ecomi a day, and how many Ecomi are moved from circulation. And this is while the app is still in beta phase with relatively small user base. Last I heard, there was like 30,000 people that are purchasing Ecomi. Wait until there's millions, and wait until these licenses start to really drop quickly. A billion is a big number. I know Thumper Hunts was down there telling me that I don't understand how big a billion is. I don't know why he would say that. I just burned through a couple billion coins on Coinmaster building a village. So of course I know what a billion is, right? So clearly a billion is 1,000 million. And so if 8 million are getting burned in one drop, and that doesn't include other drops or secondary market sales, you can see why I think this project has such great long-term potential. I do not think that it's going to $1 next week, but I think that eventually, with the licenses that they have, the user base that I anticipate them having, the cool collectibles that they have coming out, their gaming platform that they're planning on using the collectibles in, people like you and I introducing new people to Ecomi and VeVe, it's going to snowball. So I just think, I believe that eventually, with the hype and with the burn and with the increase in user base on VeVe, that $1 is possible, within the next year or two. A lot of people are trying to say it's going to go to $1 within a couple months or by the end of this year. I don't believe that. I could probably see it going to 25-ish cents on a real big hype, with a lot of people that aren't willing to sell, even with that big market cap and even with the big supply. If people are just holding them and aren't willing to sell, maybe it could go to 25 cents, but you got to figure that there's a lot of people that have bought along the way that are going to think a 10x or 25x is a big return. But I'm waiting for 100x, because I'm going to save it till $1. And I'm also, because here in the United States, we pay long-term capital gains instead of income tax if we hold it for over a year. So I'm planning on holding for over a year regardless, and I'm planning on holding to $1. So whatever comes later, I don't care if it takes 2 years to get to $1. I'm going to hold it till then. If it takes 9 months to get to $1, I'm still holding it till a year. That way I can pay long-term capital gains instead of income tax. But obviously, when it gets to $1, I'm just going to take a look at the situation. I mean, if over half the Ecomi had been burned by then, and there's still people flooding into the app, and they have a bunch of new announcements coming, $1 might not be enough for me at this point. I mean, obviously, that's my mental goal right now, but maybe not in the future. Okay, so I just wanted to give you an example off of what one collectible could do. Like the video, say OMI is my homie down below, and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later.